What's up, guys? Welcome to Film Trash. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about a movie called Torment. There are a number of movies called Torment, but this movie came out in 2017 and was directed by Adam Ford and stars Matteo de Liberato and Rikky Fiore. This movie was distributed by Unearthed Films under their new line called Too Extreme for Mainstream. If you're not familiar with Unearthed Films, essentially they are a production and distribution company who specialize in really disturbing, really extreme cinema. They put out things like a Serbian film, the American Guinea Pig films, the Vomit Gore trilogy, things of that nature. Just extreme horror. Definitely not the stuff that I would recommend to most people. But they decided to start a new line known as Too Extreme for Mainstream. And these are films that are so extreme that you pretty much can't get them at any retailers. You aren't going to find them streaming on any services. So the only way to really get them is online, either through the Unearthed Films website or through, I think there's a couple other websites you can get them through, Grindhouse Video. I know carries them sometimes. So yeah, really, really extreme stuff. Not for most people, but I really like extreme films, so I thought I'd give these a chance and talk about all the different movies. As of right now, there are 4 movies in the Too Extreme for Mainstream line. This is the first one that was made, and I'll be doing reviews of all of the movies that they do for this line. So, let's start off with the movie. It's inspired by John Wayne Gacy. It's not based on the story at all, just inspired by it. And it's essentially a movie about Jeffrey, the main character, played by Rikky Fiore. He wakes up after presumably a night of sex and drugs. Wakes up in the main antagonist's house, the clown, whose name is John, and he's played by Matteo de Liberato. And he proceeds to go around the house and ends up walking into a room where there's another naked man tied up. And the clown character comes in, John, and knocks him unconscious. And then when he wakes up, he is forced to watch as the clown just brutally sexually assaults and tortures the other man to death. From there, the movie is pretty much just a graphic sexual violence, torture, just really extreme stuff, pretty much all the way to the end. Horrible drug abuse, all kinds of terrible stuff. As far as the movie goes, I didn't really care for it that much, to be honest. I mean, it's obviously very extreme, and I think the actors did a pretty good job, especially Matteo de Liberato as the clown character. He does a really good job of just going through from one emotion to another really quickly, acting super crazy. I think his acting was really good. As far as the rest of it goes, though, I mean, yeah, it's very extreme, and if you're into that kind of stuff, great. But I think sometimes it goes a little too far, and what I mean by that is it's not that it's too extreme so much as they feel the need to show things that are so extreme that they kind of come off as a little bit goofy. I won't go into too much detail on that, but if you've seen the movie, then you might know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the interior view scene, I guess I'll call it. Yeah, it's pretty extreme, but it just seems a little bit goofy, and that actually makes it seem less extreme in my opinion. Other than that, there's just not a lot of story. It's basically just graphic sexual violence and torture and not much else. It's a serial killer who is crazy, who likes to paint himself up like a clown sometimes. Lots of drug use as well. But, I mean, if you're really just looking for something extreme and you don't really care about the story, yeah, I mean, maybe check it out. It's not the worst thing I've seen. Like I said, I enjoyed some of the acting, so hey, you know what? It's definitely extreme, and I understand why they put it on the too extreme for mainstream label. Um, I will say that I have seen the second film in the too extreme for mainstream line, which is Triple X Deep Web. I haven't seen the third and fourth film in the line yet. I own them, I just haven't watched them yet. But it does kind of feel like maybe the part that makes them too extreme for mainstream is just how graphic the sexual violence is, because, I mean, they show a lot. It's borderline, you know, I don't know if I can say the word on YouTube. I mean, it's pretty close to the stuff you would find on the internet in certain websites that I won't mention here. But I mean, you know, it's extreme, and that's what it's going for. So check it out if you really want to. If you really want something that's just really, really, really extreme, and you don't really care about the story, or you know, if you aren't interested in super extreme stuff and you want something that has more of a story, then I wouldn't really recommend it. But if it does interest you, like I said, I'm going to be doing reviews of all the films in this one. So the next review will be for Deep Web Triple X, and then the next two after that are House of Flesh Mannequins, which I haven't watched yet, and 29 Needles, which I also haven't watched yet. But I'm actually very excited to check out that one, because I've heard a lot of people praising that one and saying that it is even more extreme than a Serbian film, that it is just beyond anything they've ever seen before. So hopefully that one will be cool. Stay tuned for that. In the meantime, hit the like and subscribe buttons if you guys enjoyed this video and you want to see more reviews, and I'll see you guys next time.